everybody, it's Catherine here from Ghana Made, and welcome to another episode of Find Your Way Back, where I'll be interviewing amazing individuals from the diaspora that have moved back to Ghana. Today we have an amazing guest called Nadia. Nadia is a businesswoman here in Accra. Hello, Nadia.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
How are you doing today?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
And I'm hot, but I'm happy.
But you're here.
Yes.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
So I want to find out everything about you and everything about your journey so far, because unlike many, you have actually been here for a while.
Yeah.
So you know the system, you know the do's, the don'ts, everything. So I want to hear all about that. But first off, were you born here in Ghana?
Okay. No, I wasn't born in Ghana. I was born in the UK. My mum and my father were both economic migrants, or immigrants, shall I say, to the UK. My mum actually had 3 of my siblings here. So they were born in Osu,
Wow.
in Accra, and then she moved to the UK, met my father, and then had me there.
Oh, so you're the only one that was born in the UK?
Yes,
Oh,
I am.
wow.
I am. And I'm the only one who's come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Your siblings are still in the UK?
They all still live there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And they're actually mixed race. So they're half Lebanese, half Ghanaian.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is that when they were going to the UK, they were speaking Ghan and everything
And
else.
now, totally different. Strictly English, right?
Strictly English. But still Ghanaian at heart. They will
Wow.
never, I think, a woman has always got that the strong gene.
Yes.
So for them, they're always Ghanaian first before
of
anything
course,
else.
Of course. That's
yeah.
amazing. So what led you to Ghana?
The turning point was when Ghana turned 50 in terms of its independence. And I remember the first thing that came into my spirit was like, who is Kwame Nkrumah? Like, really, who is he? I know he's the person who led Ghana to independence, but who is he?
Yeah.
So then I embarked on learning much more about Kwame Nkrumah. And then during that period of time, my relationship with God was like level. If I say level, like I was hearing things,
Right.
like I could hear him speaking, and I would always be responding, but it wasn't necessarily something that was guiding my life. But then I started hearing. And basically, as I was embarking on this journey, God told me to read marketing.
Okay.
So I studied a bachelor's degree in media, but then afterwards, when I was working in the company, God was like, I should read marketing. So I was reading marketing, I was reading about Ghana and everything else. And then it got to a point whereas I said to my marketing manager at the company that I was working for, I was like, I want to do marketing. Like,
show me the way.
Yeah, she was like, oh, but there's not really opportunities here. And everyone knew I was like Afrocentric as well. And then literally the following week, it was an industry magazine, like Campaign or something. And it said there was a position for a marketing manager for Africa Confidential.
Okay.
And it was like, whoo! You can't even make this stuff up. And then basically during that journey, like in the UK, everything's very monotonous, right? So you got to get to the train station at this time. You need to get on this train, like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one Thursday, I stepped out of my car and I said, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I was 26. I was with a long-time partner. We had a nice house. We had a garden. I was in a well-paid job. I had a nice car. It was like, what again? Am I going to do this for another 50, 60 years? No, it was just very heavy on me. And I think in that process, there was a lot of praying and everything else. And then that's when it revealed to me that we have a choice, right? And I found this really profound. And then the next thing that I was hearing in my spirit was, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah, it's true.
What's the worst thing that can happen if you choose not to do the thing that the system has told you you should do?
Yes.
What's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't end up in death, your life is for you, your own. And then when I accepted that and I embraced that, it meant that my spirit was now the guiding force in my life, as opposed to the system, what man was saying and what everybody else was doing. It now became, well, I want to explore what's there for me. And as it had it was for me to be in Ghana.
Wow, what a word. So remarkable. So how long have you been here?
Okay, so I've been here for 10 years.
10 years.
Girl, stop emphasizing that.
That's amazing. So 10 years. Wow. Does
And
it
it's
feel
gone
like
so
10 years?
No, it's gone so quickly.
Really?
I swear down, it feels like
Yeah.
2 years. And I don't even know why I would say it feels like 2 years, because it's been a tough 10 years.
Of
But
course.
I think in life in general, time doesn't feel like it sounds. Like,
Yes.
I know some of my friends, I've known them since like for like 20, 30 years. And I'm like, wait, what? No.
Yeah, like,
I'm not that
Are you
old.
sure?
Yeah.
Right? You did the maths and calculations.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, okay. So is there any point during that 10 years you thought, I can't do this? Like, I want to go back to my life.
Never a day in my life.
Really?
Never a day in my life. Not one day since I've been in Ghana have I ever thought I need to go back. And the things that have happened in Ghana, it's enough to really make you go crazy and think, forget about this. Yeah. But no. And I think it's a personality thing. Like I said, it's a calling. Yes. Like once you know this is your home and you accept this is your home, there's no, oh, but let me go here. There's none of that. That doesn't exist, right? And for me, I have a character which says that I don't like to get defeated. So, okay, I've lost today, tomorrow I'll win.
I'll get back up. I will get back up.
Like I cannot carry my bag. No.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's my personality.
Amazing. So what have you been doing? What do you do?
Okay, so when I came to Ghana, I set up a marketing agency. So we're an experiential brand management agency. That's my first business. I set that up in 2010. Our first major client, which was within 2 months of us being in operation, was Vodafone. And then basically we just grew from there. By 2012, we set up our agency in Lagos, Nigeria. And then we were getting accounts with the likes of IFC, Merck Pharmaceutical Company, and all these other brands as well. And then by 2018, we then expanded to become a Pan-African brand management agency. So we have physical presence in Ghana and Nigeria, but we also have strategic partnerships in 8 other African countries.
Amazing.
So it means that now when we have a client that wants to do something within more than one country, we'll be able to extend that. So fortunately for us in 2019, we were able to do a West Africa campaign for Standard Chartered.
Okay.
And then we also did something for MAC and Estee Lauder as well. So it really has been a good move for us.
Yes.
So in terms of the agencies, technically it's 10 years this year.
Oh,
then in 2015, I had another calling to do my other business, which is Sai Wine Café. It is what it says. It's a wine cafe. It's the first of its kind in Ghana. And with that business, it's more than a place that you come and drink wine and have food. It's a place that, you know, you relax. It's a place that you get to reflect. I call it an experience. Like it's somewhere that really, it's not like anywhere else that you go. And we are so flexible to tailor experiences to people. Beyond like you go somewhere, you order something off the menu and that's it. If you come in, you want a mint tea, but we don't have it on our menu, we'll make you a mint tea. Not a problem.
That's what it's about.
You know, and maybe you're there and you're sitting there singing a song with your friends, then, you know, our customer experience guys will basically change the music to what you're singing just to tailor it to those people. And there was one time when we reopened, because we moved.
Okay.
So we were in Labone before, but we've moved to Osu now, in a much bigger, lovely space. And one of our customers came to us and she said the other day she was speaking to her friend and her friend's father passed away like 2 years ago. And her friend recollected this customer bringing her to Sai. And she said that it was one of the most memorable experiences that she had. She said the environment was on point. She said the music was on point. And she said that just for that one day, she even forgot that her father had passed away. Wow. And so when it just gives me chills.
Even now, it's like, okay, let me hold back the tears.
No, seriously, that's how I feel. It made me feel like, wow, I can only be obedient to what I've been called to and the experiences that have come out of that. And so, you know, I pray a lot on the business and everything else just so that, you know, it can continue to be that place for people. So I have those 2 businesses. And then I'm also an executive secretary of the Ghana-Nigeria Business Council.
What don't you do?
In terms of trade between Ghana and Nigeria and encouraging more Ghanaians to do business in Nigeria and Nigerians supporting them, the ones that are here in Ghana. And then I'm also the vice chair of the National Hospitality Association for Ghana, which was set up earlier this year due to the COVID.
Okay.
And it's basically looking out for the hospitality industry and looking at how we can raise our standards and make it much more, let us be more accountable.
Right.
And then also give our customers more. And then also I'm on the board of the Haspra Professionals Network, which is something which a lady called Christabel Dadzi basically founded a few years back. Nearly 10 years ago she founded it, and it's basically about diasporans coming together and having the support network here in Ghana.
Which is key.
Exactly. She does amazing. Like the organization's amazing.
Wow.
So yeah.
Look into that. So all these things you do, Nadia, how do you find the time?
And I'm a mother.
And you're a mother, superwoman. I don't know how moms do it. Honestly, superwoman.
He's got an amazing dad that helps. So that's the
But
thing.
you must also have an amazing team as well, because there's how do you do it?
Yeah. How do I do it? It's God's grace. No, seriously, it's God's grace, and it is about the right people being there. And I think, you know, the things that we do and the level that we do it at really pushes my team.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, I had a lot of people who've got the best intentions that have ended up falling out simply because the pressure is too much. And it's always a question of what they think is good enough and it's not. So then it's like, well, I'm trying my best, and you're constantly being told, but your best is not good enough. You know, it's not good enough, but hey, don't worry, we've got another chance to try again. And for them, it becomes more than a job. It becomes a whole personality, sleeping issue and everything. And then after sometimes it weighs in on them, like, is this worth it? You know? But for me, I feel like these are the transformational experiences that they need to have in order to be a better version of themselves. But you can't force anyone to embark on that. But over the years, we've had a fantastic team to carry us through to where we are today.
That's amazing. So when you got here, did you have someone that you could rely on, someone to show you around, or was it all you?
No. It was all me. It was like my mum came to Ghana. So my mum has always been has been building the house all this while. And then when I had the call and I said, I'm going to Ghana, she was like, how can you leave me in the UK? Yeah. So she was like, that's not happening. So she came. And at that time I had my son with me. So she was assisting me and everything else. And then, like I said, it just got to a point that I had to say, between us as a family, that, you know, maybe it'll be better for my son to be in the UK in terms of social activities and things like that. And then it's just been God and I. And I've got a good network of, like, I've got my spiritual sisters in the UK that I speak to a lot. So I speak to them a lot. And in your journey in life, you realize it's not everybody that you need to speak to. It's not everybody that you need to share things with or anything like that. Because you know what God is telling you, so you just need to focus on that. And
too many voices.
Exactly.
It's not good.
Exactly. And not only that, a lot of people will question what you're doing, but they don't see the end. Only God sees the end. So,
of course. Wow. So what are 2 things you love about Ghana?
There's one, Ghana. Because Ghana is all encompassing. Ghana is the people.
Yes.
Ghana is our culture. I'm so proud. I'm really sorry. Like, whenever I talk about Ghana, if anyone asks, I get very emotional. Because
we've come a long way. I understand.
And it's such a beautiful country.
It is.
Our people are so beautiful. They're hardworking. The culture, it's so vibrant. It's so symbolic. It's loaded. It's historic. It's everything. There's a story behind everything. You know. I love that. I love the sun.
Yes.
I love waking up every day.
It's good for our melanin.
I just love waking up every day knowing that I've got another chance to start again. Even if there's a grey sky for 2 days, you can manage it. Because those are your down days, when you just say, you know what, relax today. It also changes your pace.
Yes.
But the sun, you're just like, oh, I love this. This is life. Yeah. Even if I'm not winning at work, even if I'm not winning in my relationship today, the sun is shining. And that does something to us, you know.
It makes a difference.
And the landscape.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some beautiful beaches in Ghana. I love the mountains as well. We've got Akropong, like just some beautiful mountainous areas that you really get to take in nature. The food.
Oh yeah, we cannot forget the food. You can't forget the food.
I remember one time I was working in Oxford Street in the UK, and I was craving wachi like something.
Where
and
are
I
you
was
gonna
like,
get that from?
I was going to Marks and Spencer's, like, why am I looking at baked potato with cheese and baked beans? Like, I need some wachi in my life.
Wow, so is that your favorite dish?
Not really, but that day I was craving
it. Yeah, you were craving it. What's your favorite dish?
Full palm nut soup.
Oh.
With lots and lots of okra inside it. Oh my gosh.
Can't go wrong with food.
Just love the fact that, you know, Ghana's really blessed. Yes. It's a blessed nation. Like, no matter what anybody says about it, we're a blessed nation.
Of course.
And there's been many testimonies and prophecies about Ghana and things like that. But even if you just look at how we're positioned, if you just look at the blessings that we have as a nation right now, as a president that we have as a president, and all the things that happen to Ghana, this small 28 to 30 million country in the whole continent.
Small country.
Yeah, we're really a force to reckon with. And I feel like once you're in the system and then you're integrated and you're in the spirit of Ghana, you embody that blessing, you embody that fighting, you embody all of it, which allows you to go on. So when you ask me 2 things that I love about Ghana, one is Ghana.
That's good enough. That is good enough.
And I think that's it, everything about it.
That's amazing. And I love the fact that people outside of Ghana recognize how great the nation is, and they want to come here, even though they have no connection to Ghana whatsoever. It's Ghana, like Ghana is the most like talked about country nowadays, and I'm actually happy to be from Ghana. I can't
Do you know,
I'm blessed. I wouldn't want, back in the day in the UK, it's like no one really wanted to speak with their chest.
Exactly.
Africa wasn't really cool.
Exactly.
It was all about the Caribbean.
Yes.
But now, no.
Yes.
Now everything Ghana, everything Africa.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. And it's so beautiful that we're at the forefront of that, with our brothers Nigeria. Like it's so like when I was bringing my son to Ghana, one of the reasons why I did it was like I wanted him to understand what it meant to be a Ghanaian, because I went on a journey in the UK because I was born and raised, like even though I was born in Plaistow, we ended up moving to Chadwell Heath, which is Essex. And at that time, pure white. Like we were the only black people who had a house like for about 3 or 4 roads. Everything was white. My school was predominantly white. And it was only until my sister took me to Carnival, Notting Hill Carnival. Then I saw black people in their essence. And I was like, until then, I was putting towels on my head and pretending I was brushing a long hair. Yeah, because I couldn't identify what it meant to be black. I was identifying with my white friends.
Blonde hair,
exactly. So how best can I get to that? But I couldn't, but I was trying my best to. So I didn't want my son to go through that. And I wanted him to understand what it meant to be a black African boy.
Of course.
So him being in Ghana and everything else, for me, that was really important. And it pays off now.
Yes.
So he goes to school in Essex.
And funny enough, his friends.
Exactly. And funny enough, all of his friends, like I said to him, where are your friends from? And he was like, Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica. And I was like, that was never going to happen before.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I'm British. That's what you would have said.
It's true.
But now they're embracing that culture, their identity of their parents. And that for me is what we need to happen.
Of course.
It's really
definitely.
important.
100%. So you've talked about the things that you love. I don't want to say things you dislike, but what are 2 things that you wish you could see a change being here in Ghana? Because you've been here for 10 years, you know the system, you know how it's worked. So what would you say you want to see a change in?
I would say the education system.
Right.
I think as Africans, beyond even Ghana, I think as Africans, we need to be bold enough to write our own stories, to write our own materials, to decide what we want to tell future generations. But I feel like right now it's still hinged on what the Western economies and Western worlds are doing.
Yes.
There's too many Africans or even Ghanaians that don't even know their own Ghana history. They don't know about the slave trade and things like that. They don't understand the dynamics of it and things like that. So for me, and I feel like we can be bold enough to say, okay, for our curriculum, we want to put in farming as something that people study, because that's our environment. So we need to speak to what our environment says for us, not what...
Be conditioned.
Exactly. So I think we need to be bold enough to do that. And I remember last year somebody said that it is something that is being taken into consideration now, but I haven't seen it
Hopefully
happen.
We see that happen.
Yeah, because that's really important. And then obviously, then the teachers being trained accordingly and things like that. So that for me is one thing. And then I think secondly, as much as I love my people, I would like to see a change in, I don't know how to say it, because Ghanaians are very hardworking.
Yes.
But there needs to be a change of our mindset. And we keep on saying it. And I don't think people realize how deep-rooted that change is. it will help when we get a better education system.
Of course, yeah.
Because those same people who are now being educated are going to be parents, and those parents can then teach their children and stuff like that. But right now, I think our biggest epidemic is the mindset of the people. It's just so messed up. It's not even funny, to be really honest with you. It's not even funny. Yeah. And the thing is with Ghanaians is that we are aggressive, yet we're so forgiving. So that's the passive-aggressive element of Ghanaians. So we allow people to get away with things that they shouldn't. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. But that "oh, it's okay" plus the lack of education is fostering bad, like you're fostering bad people in the system. Of course. Because it means that if I do something,
there's no change. You're gonna get away with it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then so then everything goes out of the window from there. So so that's one of the biggest challenges things that I'd love to see change.
So with everything that you said, how do you intend on making a change then with all that you do? Because you do so much.
So what I do with my workplace is that I'm available. So first of all, we have like an open office style, which is not traditional in Ghana because you have everything's very hierarchical.
Yes, so you go through this person, before you get to that person.
Exactly. Yeah. So with my team, I try to keep my office door open as much as I can, and I'm available for them to speak to me. So that's the first thing that I try to do, that I do. Not that I try to do, that I do. The second thing is that I interview in a different way. I try to understand more about one's family structure before talking about work, because you get to quickly realize that how things are going at home will impact what happens at work. Yeah. You'll find a girl who's actually maybe 22 and she's the breadwinner for a family of 5, including her parents. You'll find that maybe someone lives far. You know, all of these different things. You have to take all of those things into consideration. And then the most important thing is to understand what they want for themselves and work with them to achieve that. So I was telling some of my staff earlier that what we used to do at our agency is that when we get staff that would come in, it was like, maybe they're with us 6 months to a year, you can see they're committed. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to do further education, so on and so forth. Then there'll be us basically helping them raise more money, whether giving them overtime and things like that, so that they can then go on a course. Okay. And if they get to that course, we'll pay 50% of it, and then basically give them opportunities thereafterwards for them to now be exposed. So we did that for a few of our staff. Sometimes it works to your benefit, sometimes it doesn't. Right. For me, I realized that not everyone's going to stay with us forever. So when you're leaving, I want to make sure that you leave our companies at a better place than what you did when you came in. Yes. Exactly. So we do that for our staff as well. And then there's a lot of mentoring. In terms of taking them through things. Do you understand this? Reading materials, sitting down with them. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I do a lot of that with my staff. Some people take and they get it and they run with it. And I've got so many success stories from that. There was a young girl that was working with us and they really go through it. And then she ended up, when she finished work, she got a job at the British Council and she's been there now for the last 8 years and she's just rising through the ranks. And just about a couple of months ago, I went somewhere for the weekend. When I got back, there was a package waiting for me at Sai. And I was like, oh, what's this? And it was basically from this girl. She had personalized a teacup, a holder, and everything for me. And it was just like a thank you message. And she keeps on coming back to say, thank you, thank you. And I've seen other people since then setting up their own businesses and stuff like that, all because, and they come back and they say, thank you. Because even though it's tough, we can see what you were saying and it's worth it.
And you believed in them.
And I do. And I believe in everyone. And that's the thing. And I'm just so sad that not a lot of people believe in themselves.
Yeah, they can't see that.
You know, and then you realize that there's so many issues. Like one of the things that we don't realize is that people don't take emotional health and mental health seriously. Yeah. But the amount of emotional abuse that people go through, and they don't see it as, they're like, hey, you guys are coming from a butchery. Yeah. No, you guys are just functioning. Right? But there's a lot of things that have happened. So then people become very fragile after a while. So I'm not sure if you've ever encountered somebody and then it goes from 0 to 1,000 very quickly. And you're like, hey, what's that?
What did I do?
Yeah. They're very fragile. And people tend to look out for themselves. Exactly. And they can't now, and then, you get people who are doing the worst things. You're like, what are you doing? And it's because they need to feed themselves. They too matter. I matter. What about me? That's their agenda. What about me?
Yeah.
And that's because you have a fighting spirit when you're growing up.
That's their survival mode, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about entitlement, oh, these people feel entitled because they're thinking about, what about me? Mm-hmm. You are okay. Mm-hmm. And even though they're working for you and you're paying them, they're still thinking, what about me? Yeah. No, I'm having to work to get this. What about me? So it's a lot that we actually need to work on. And it's tough.
Yes.
I've had a lot of throwbacks from it. I've had people say they're going to do stuff to me spiritually and all, like all ups and downs. And I'm not perfect either, right? So how I respond to it has not always been the best, but I'm learning and growing in the process as well. And I'm also having to be true to myself in that journey. Like, even if someone does the most awful thing to me or to the business, I need to learn and to continue to forgive in order to move on.
So Nadia, as well as all the amazing things you do, you are also an author.
Yes.
Can you please tell me about that?
Okay, again, God. It was funny. So the other day, I was looking at something on Facebook, and then, when Facebook reminds you of something that you've done 3 years ago. So I had posted something in 2014 which said, I'm going to write a book. And it's going to be for Ghanaians. And I completely forgot that I even wrote something like that. 2019, I was going to London around August, and I was speaking to my cousin, and she's also a vlogger and everything else. Yeah. And I said to her, okay, I think I want to do some vlogs and stuff like that, just to really start sharing the journey and sharing like nuggets with people. And so she was like, yeah. So we scheduled everything, and then I got to London, and then God was like, nope, you're gonna write a book. He said, this is what it's gonna be called. I saw the cover of the book. Everything was there. And I just, every time I was driving and I would stop, maybe I'm waiting for my sister or whatever, I'll just be writing a new chapter. I got to 8 steps, and then as I thought I was finished, God was like, no, you got 2 more. And then I put it in, and then that was it. And and it was basically a book. It's called How to Get Ahead in Ghana. And it's crazy because it's not for diasporans, it's for Ghanaians. Okay. And it's about how they can get ahead in their own country. Right. And it feeds into what I was saying earlier. It's about people not realizing that, I don't know, I'm feeling really emotional right now, sorry. It's about people realizing that they have the power within them to be able to take advantage and maximize on their own environment. I think more what we tend to see is that we see a lot of foreigners coming from outside, even diasporans, right? Coming from outside in, and then taking advantage of the things that are going on, and our own people are like, oh, what about me, right? And then why? Is it because the person is from a brochure? That's why? No. It's about, you understanding that you can also have this as well. And it's not always about being an entrepreneur. You could be doing this in a company. You can be that, but you realize that what we were talking about earlier, a lot of people have got inherent issues, and it doesn't allow them to then explore and really see what's good for them. We have a nation of people who go to church a lot, who go to the mosques and stuff, but they don't really understand what they're learning and how to apply it to their day-to-day life.
It's a word.
So so How to Get Ahead in Ghana was basically that, and it was it's like a reference manual. It's about people just constantly ask. It's just simple, and these are things that I myself have gone through as well. And can I just say something at this point? I want us to also bear in mind that what happens in Ghana is not exclusive to Ghana. This thing happens in the UK. It's just that the UK has got a system which supports and plugs people in at the right places. But in Ghana, we don't have that system. So everything is like spread out wide. Everybody gets it, everybody feels it at different points in time. But we just don't have enough that directs and guides us. We don't have enough from our own people speaking to our people. So then that's where the book came in.
So I know it's not for people in the diaspora, but I've actually read the book, guys, and it is amazing. There's even space for you to write your notes.
Yes, there is.
Switches to, give you the motivation you need. So big well done.
Thank you for that.
Any more books coming on the way?
Yes, so I want to do How to Get Ahead in Ghana Part 2, which is a diaspora edition.
Okay, for us.
Okay, so these long interviews get compacted into like a little Bible for them to get how to get ahead in Ghana. And then also, I want to do this little fun thing. Imagine this. I've been working on it. So it's 100 things that you would never imagine, or that you couldn't imagine that would happen. Maybe you're from the diaspora and then you're coming and then these things happen. And I'll tell you how I got inspired by it, because I'm on like about 87 different Imagine This so far. So I'm gonna get to 100 and I'll publish it.
87?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But there was one, what inspired it was about a month ago. It was midnight and I was driving through 37. And as I was driving, I had my window open and something caught my attention, like something was just coming alongside me and it was late. I was driving through the interchange and I'm like, what was that? And then when I did a double check, it was a big white cow running, literally alongside. And then I was like, well, because initially I didn't see it. And have you ever seen a cow run? It's very intentional. It's like really scary. And I was just like, imagine that. You know, you can never be in Bond Street and see.
It's not happening.
So then that inspired me to then write this thing, like compile this thing. Like imagine this. Imagine like, all the crazy things that happen whilst you're here that you wouldn't even imagine. You know. And then as I got to like 60, I started struggling, and I realized that because I'm now assimilated, a lot of crazy things that have happened, I've now accepted it as normal.
Yeah, you don't realize. When you sit down and think about it, so hold on, actually,
I was struggling and I was like, Nadia, come on, you know. But you get to accept it. You begin to realize it's just a way of life. But for anyone that's coming out and then they're coming to look at it, they'll just be like, wait, what? Is this normal?
Bunch of laughs.
So it's going to be, it's just a short book. It's going to be something that's just for laughs, you know. You just be like, wow, but they're real. It's about things that happen here.
Can't wait for that. I will definitely be on the lookout.
Thank you.
Wow. So what advice would you give to someone in the diaspora who wants to make the move, but they're not sure how to navigate their way? What would you say to them?
First of all, I'll say that you have to understand that with Ghana, there's like two systems that you need to decide where you're going to be operating in. Are you going to be operating in a system which says that I'm going to be an employee? My pay may not be great, or it could be really great if I get to a certain level, but in the meantime, it may not be that great because you'll be regarded as a local in terms of your salary package. And if you have that, you're going to live a very basic life.
Right.
Okay, so you may not live in your cantonments, Labonis and stuff like that. You might have to live out a bit further, and maybe your home may not be that great and stuff like that. So you need to decide whether you're going to want that. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because some people come from the UK and they start converting salaries into how much they'll be making, and they'll quickly get to realize that even a one-day salary might be what you get in a month. You got to be okay with that, right? You can't fight that. That's what it is. So that's the first thing. So you decided whether you want to be in that space and live like that. Maybe you'll progress in the ranks over a period of time, or you get a senior management position, whichever happens. So that's the first thing. The second thing, the other area that you look at is being an entrepreneur. And again, you've got to be careful what industry you put yourself in. I would always advise people to go to agric if they can, looking at, or even if you're not, looking at exporting businesses, because we have so much that we can export out. Right? And that's where people make real money. Like Mokola, they're millionaires there.
You'll be surprised.
People underestimate it. There are millionaires in Mokola, like dollar millionaires, just for clarity. And then also, like I said, looking at exporting, whether it's fish farming, whether it's cocoa. I remember somebody was telling me the other day that this woman has got a business where she just exports lemon peel to Germany. Like, it's a thing. Secondhand clothing is a big thing here. You know, do you understand? So sometimes it's not your traditional fancy, airy fairy, I want to do this, luxury, that. Because those luxury people, they won't necessarily guarantee you your money. Come down to the masses. It's the Ghanaians that have really got money. It's the Ghanaians that want experience. It's the Ghanaians that want things, right? And then look out. What does China want? Because right now we have a cashew epidemic right now. Because we've got so much cashew has been sent out. We're even now getting our cashew from Ivory Coast, right? So look at, what does the outside world need and how can I provide for that? And then when you decide to be an entrepreneur and you operate on that level, that's where you get the big money to now go buy your land, to now go build your house, to now go get a nice car, to put your children in good education and things like that. But between a career and being an entrepreneur, they're worlds apart. It's not seamless because you've got to also realize that being an entrepreneur, there's no support. We've got loans that are at 24%. And then with those loans, you need to even have collateral. and they don't take cars and stuff like that. They need to take land or a house as collateral. And then you don't have an overdraft either.
Yeah.
You struggle with your human resource base as well. You've got to pay your taxes and things like that. And even when you're importing goods into Ghana, like let's just say wines, for example, it incurs an import duty tax of 90% of the invoice value.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, so you take all of these things into consideration, and you got to understand that it takes time. I think
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. And I think people cannot appreciate that it takes time.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to Ghana, people said 5 years. They said to me, they'll give me 5 years. They said at 5 years, then you've made it. Then you're in Ghana. And I'm like, 5 years? No, I'm going to do this in 3 years.
Yes.
When it clocked to 5 years, I realized what people were saying. Because by now you've got to learn everything in the system. You understand how everything works. And now you railroad, like you're in that track. You now know how to work in the system. It actually takes a long time to learn and to be able to accept certain things. Because if you're coming from the West, you know how you think things should be. So you have to break all of that down, rebuild up and everything else. So I'll definitely say to people that you need to know that you're coming to take your time. Unless you're already coming with money, then you can just get on with it. But when you come with money, get a house, buy a land, try not to rent, don't pay dollars here, dollars there, because you'll waste your money and it wouldn't even be worth it. So I always tell people to invest quickly, be smart about the decisions that they're going to be making in terms of education and all of those kind of things. And just be in it and realize that you have to build your own system. You might have to build your own road. You might have to build your own gutter system. You might have to build your own security. You'll have to do all of that on your own.
But the great thing is we can actually do that here.
Exactly. Nowhere is perfect. Ghana is definitely not perfect. UK is not perfect or anything. It's just about you choosing your battles and whether this is something that you really want to do.
Fighting for it.
Exactly. And also respecting that people who are here and they are making it, it's not because it's easy. It really isn't. Sometimes like things can be so bad that you just have to retire. And you know, like life has a certain way of doing things. Like one thing can happen and then somehow everything else is also happening badly. You just say, you know what, I'm going to retire today. You know, and it just takes a while.
Thank you so much for coming and spreading your wisdom and all the nuggets. We've taken it in.
Thank you.
You have been amazing.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our episode of Find Your Way Back. Hope to see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I had a shift in my life at one point, and I came across a very simple quote, and I'm certain you've seen it before. And the quote is, "Go where you feel most alive."
Of course.
And yes, and where I currently was, figuratively and geographically, just wasn't doing it for me. And so I said, why not go back to where my soul was actually created? Go back home.
No place like home.
Exactly.
Steady moving, it's how we do things. Welcome to the land of the free. How you do? Daily grooving, it's how we do things. Smiling like the sun at the beach, now get moving. From a this, Mpakada, those of you